Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for November 9th, 2025. We've got Menagerie Kingdom today. And we have Sanctuary and sort of Displace as thinning. Displace, of course, can do other things than thinning, but it can act as thinning. Draw, Livery, and Paddock, and Sleigh can all generate horses. Demand is effectively draw. When you gain cheap card comes with a horse. Black Cat, of course, is straightforwardly draw. Hunting Lodge can be draw to X, which does pair nicely with some of the cards here. Although, ultimately, I think the goal is going to be to have a bunch of horses and not be doing draw to X stuff, but early in the game, potentially, could be a thing. And then, plus actions, Hunting Lodge, and then Paddock if it gets double activated. And gains, so obviously Groom is gains. Demand is sort of gains as well, because, if you do something with the horse other than just play it. Displace is gains. Sanctuary gives plus buy. Animal Fair can eventually give plus buy. Excuse me. And then all the different horse gainers in conjunction with Displace can potentially turn stuff into gains. So there's a lot of gaining potential here. I think for the opening, it's definitely going to be Groom and something. But I'm not sure what. Actually, having said that, Groom actually doesn't look that good here. It's just sort of like, oh, Groom is a good card. Of course, it's the only, card in that price range, and it's a good card, so why would we not open it? But actually, grooming for Black Cats and Sleighs both does not... Neither of those seem particularly appealing. And they don't advance the goal of getting the 5 costs we want into the deck. And then grooming for supplies, while I wouldn't mind having a bunch of supplies, adds a bunch of silvers that we don't necessarily want either. So it might be better not to open with Groom and to just go... Like, we could just go for some supplies. That is the downside, that they're not very good at helping us hit 5 unless we see them turn 3. We could also take a couple silvers. We could take like 1 Black Cat. I'm really not very excited by the idea of having Black Cats in the deck, at least in the short term. Mostly the reason to get a Black Cat would just be like that, it cycles some cards. Yeah, actually, this is a really awkward opening. I think, like, we want to be able to get to Sanctuary. I think that's pretty important, because displacing... Well, I guess Displace can always gain supplies, so maybe we actually want to get Displace first. But either way, and we want to be able to get Hunting Lodges. Those are going to be pretty important. Like, we could just go double silver. Could go like silver supplies, kind of split the difference. I mean, silver is a good displace target too, so having a few silvers in the deck is not bad. tricky. It feels very strange to be contemplating double silver on a board with Groom and supplies. But I think it might be correct. The supplies can definitely work out if you see them turn 3, but I don't know. I'm just... Alright, we do in fact hit 5 here. I think I will... let's see. I mean, turning stuff into supplies, like I said, it is pretty good. Sanctuary has the advantage that it isn't a stop card and isn't terminal. But we are going to want the displace anyway. I think we get the displace. Yeah, I kind of figured we are just going to hit 4 here. I mean, there was a chance that we hit 5 again, which would have been really nice. Now I guess we probably take... Well, we really wanted to be aggro. We could take Seize the Day now. I don't love that. I think having the late game threat is better. I think we'll just take the supplies. Alright, we definitely want to get... Alright, so the bot is just like loading up on the supplies, which I don't really think is that good or necessary. Definitely want to get Hunting Lodge going. Displace a state into another supplies. Now we really need to get Sanctuary because the supplies are going to run, and then we're not going to have the great target. I wonder if it's even worth taking a supplies or a silver here. We're at the point where got a couple silvers, we got a horse on top, we've displaced 1 estate. Supplies isn't moving us towards hitting 5 very much. I don't necessarily care about having the supplies, but I do like having more supplies left in the pile. I think I'm just going to buy nothing. Yeah, and now we get Sanctuary. We bottom deck the Hunting Lodge. That's definitely not ideal. We can get another one. I think we need to do that before it really makes sense to get like a livery, which I think we're gonna get next. 2 black cats. Oh, I see how it is. Well, whatever. Ugh. Hmm. It probably doesn't make sense to discard this. Skipping the sanctuary. All right. There is an argument that Paddock is actually better than Livery because Paddock is going to get to be non-terminal soon and combine well with the two hunting lodges, at least as a starting point. Easier to get more horses from it right now. I think so. Yeah, the bot is not entirely pile rushing, but it's definitely going that direction. All right, do we get one more hunting lodge? I think so. Oh man. These piles are getting low. Does it make sense to get another sanctuary? We have 3 hunting lodges. Just it would be really nice to thin these coppers. I think so. I think we get another sanctuary. Oh, trash black cat into animal fair, huh? Okay, okay. What? I need to find my copper. Come on. I guess we could displace the... Oh my god. Are you serious? Maybe have I... No, I do still have another copper down here. That's messed up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can do silver into a 5. The piles are getting distressingly low, but I think we do want one more hunting lodge. And then probably another paddock, which will be online as soon as the bot empties the hunting lodges, which it's probably going to do. Now we're going to have the question of like, do we want to just truck with this hunting lodge, or do we want to play the horses first? It probably doesn't make a ton of sense. Okay, so the bot still only has 3 black cats, so that's good anyway. We do have the power of seize the day. I mean, so does the bot, but I mean, I think our deck like generates more econ. Anyway, okay. So now we're going to play this one without discarding. Is copper the card we want to displace? So the bot played a black cat, groomed for a black cat. So it has 3 black cats. 2 of them are in the trash. It played 1. It groomed for another 1. It discarded this one. Oh no, it shuffled. Okay, it discarded this one into the deck. Yeah, so we could end up with curses if we like displace into Duchy or something like that. So maybe we don't want to do that. I am quite worried about the pile situation, but maybe for now we still do copper to supplies, and then like, you know, we've got the seas thing. We can leverage. Oh boy. We just cannot line these sanctuaries up with coppers. Okay. This is our 4th hunting lodge. We do have a bunch of horses down there. We could decline to discard trash horse to animal fair by what? Like, how likely is the bot to be able to pile from this position? That's the question. We're not taking a points lead with this, like, what we've got right now, obviously. If we discard our hand, we potentially could. They did play a black cat, so realistically, they're not gonna give us any more than 2 curses. So 1 province would presumably be enough to win. So like, there's a world where what we do is we discard, play a bunch of horses, we get like province seas, and then we either pile out if we can, or if we can't, we just get some more points. Okay, I'm gonna discard. Okay, well, we are gonna get to top deck a lot of horses. Province seas is 12. We could just go province seas animal fair. We could also empty the supplies if we thought that was a good idea. I don't know. Getting 4 grooms without starting with a groom in the deck seems difficult, is the issue. I guess we take the province. Okay. No curses. That's good. Could go province duchy animal fair. Gives it, we don't seize, but we get a bit more padding on the points. I don't know what the bot is doing to get enough points to... I mean, it does have a lot of grooms, right? It could go for the estate line. The problem... Wait, this is undoable? That seems like a bit of a hack, but okay. Because, like, what we could do, since we know the bot doesn't have any black cats to react with, is... Yeah, that probably shouldn't work, but don't hate the player, hate the game. We could go seize... Like, seize, demand... Hunting Lodge? We demand a groom... Hunting Lodge empty makes the paddocks non-terminal. And then all we need to do is get 4 grooms and a supplies... 4 grooms, a supplies, a duchy, and an estate. It would be helpful to have the animal fair, but getting the Hunting Lodge now is more... like, does more to get us towards that. So, would we have... So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hunting lodges. This would give us a 5th, so we'd be able to play 6 terminal actions, which is enough to play our displace and 4 grooms. So the grooms can groom for, the groom grooms for groom and so on until we run those out. And actually then paddock generates more actions if we needed that, which I don't know why we would. The last groom can get us an estate or a supplies, probably a supplies because that comes with a silver. And then we just need to buy duchy estate. I feel like we should be able to do this. So let's go for it. Demand, groom, hunting lodge, seize the day. All right. So this is not great. Okay. I wonder if we are supposed to exile a copper here and discard our hand, or at least have the option. I think we are supposed to exile a copper. We're not likely to need it, right? We had 5 supplies and 2 paddocks. That's enough for duchy estate. Yeah. We kind of want to exile this copper. We also kind of want to see the hunting lodges. Shoot. Oh, it's probably more important to have the hunting lodges in the discard. there's more horses down here. Incredible. Also, I wasn't thinking about the displace gain. Potentially do something with that. We could displace supplies to groom. Seems reasonable. Go ahead and exile a copper again. All right, now we groom for the last groom. Ugh. Is this enough? It probably is. Oh, well, also we found the horses. The silver? Yeah. Not that it matters. So if the bot had had its black cats in hand, it still would not have been enough. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of how this played out. Obviously, I did win, but like, it annoys me that the groom rush was still as scary and effective as it is when it doesn't even really have like good cards to gain. I'm not honestly sure how the bot was able to hit Hunting Lodge so consistently, now that I think about it. What was it doing to hit 5? Is it just the supplies? I guess it's probably just the supplies. Supplies, groom. Take another supplies. Another supplies. And then they start to have horses on top, which means that they can hit 5. Oh, and they did get a sanctuary. And exile 2 estates. Okay. I knew that at some point. Exiling estates makes a big difference, of course. Although here they got the 2 black cats. Yeah, I do wonder whether the bot was supposed to use C's before this point. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I could see the argument that this groom line was still better. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really want to stuff my deck full of black cats, slays, or supplies that come with silvers, but it was pretty slow for what I was doing to get off the ground. I think a lot of that is because Hunting Lodge costs 5, and even when you're getting some value out of the cycling from it, it's just an expensive way to be adding. Like, you can't just like add one of the good 5-cost terminals every turn. You've got to only add them occasionally. Like, I only got 3 of them, right? I got to displace in 2 paddocks. Oh, of course, the paddocks were eventually not terminal anyway, but I guess like this sanctuary also costs 5, and I did take 2 of those, but like that card it's not a very fast way to thin or to improve your deck. So yeah, I don't know. I would prefer to be going for these 5-cost cards because they build your deck into something that does more like in terms of actually being able to score and things, but the Groom Rush stuff has the advantage that it is fast, and the Black Cat thing does make it a little bit scary in conjunction with Seize the Day. Like you have to protect against a pretty like long reach from this Rushy deck. Unfortunately, I was able to do that, but I could see being in a position where I wasn't able. Like, I don't know that I was guaranteed to be able to pull off that last turn either. Like, obviously, I had to make some judgment calls on the Hunting Lodge stuff, and it worked out, but I don't know that I don't know what the odds of it working out were. Probably pretty good, but maybe not as high as I thought going in. Well, in any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.